Oh, he's waving to you.
Yeah, where was me?
Hello. Hi guys. Hope you guys are having a great evening. How's everyone enjoying TGX? Are you guys having a good time? Woo! Welcome to TGX 2024. Sorry for the little delay, but we're back and we're so excited to have our guest from Offline TV here. So let me introduce myself real quick. I'm Bree. I also go by Yan, but I'm gonna be one of your moderators today. I also work at Offline TV as a community manager, but I'll introduce my my secondary moderator with me as well.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I go by Keany03, and I'll be with Bree to moderate this wonderful panel. And I am also a Lily Pichu Discord moderator. And that's just something I do on the side.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, so we're joined with some awesome guests who are here to share their experience behind the scenes online and offline at Offline TV. And so let me run through things real quick. We're gonna have a Q&A session at the end after this panel and a meet and greet following the panel. So make sure to stick around and don't miss out on this really fun experience to be Offline TV and have fun and everyone else with us today. So are you guys ready to get things started? Woo! Woo! Let's go. Okay, so take it away, Ashley.
All right, I'm personally super excited. I've been following Offline TV since it started. You know, I'm a big Lily Pichu fan. Let me emphasize this. Love Lily Pichu. But
What about Yvonne?
and Yvonne,
We love
okay?
Yvonne.
And Yvonne.
Oh no, it's
Love the entity of Offline TV. Yvonne's been there for so long.
ancient at this point.
Such an old, short girl.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, plays League of Legends a lot. Yeah, that's Yvonne. Okay, anyways,
Some
so
things
to
have
our
changed.
panels, could you guys give your name and basically your job description?
Hi, my name is Yvonne. I am a content creator at Offline TV. I used to be the house manager. But yeah, that's my little origin.
Hello, my name is Henry. I'm one of the typically silent voices that work behind the scenes. I'm known as the COO here. And yeah, I think my job is mainly to make sure that we still have videos and OTV still exists. So thank you for having me. And sorry for being late.
Oh yeah, sorry, there was a bit of traffic.
I'm Max. I work in the YouTube channel Sphere, and I also run a lot of our live streams. And also, Henry's selling himself short. He does like the apparel stuff. He leads his staff through, the ever-changing landscape of, YouTube influencer work. So yeah, Henry does a lot more than what he said.
Hey guys, I'm Jason. I'm a cameraman at OTV. I do content. I also help develop kind of the main channel videos, Patreon, second channel, podcast, that kind of stuff. That's what I do.
Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to meet all of you guys here and have you guys at TGX. We're so honored because obviously we can tell that all of us are pretty big fans of OTV. But with that, each of us have our own favorite video from the Offline TV channel. Like me personally, I really like the camping videos. Very fun, very silly. So I just wanted to ask you guys, what have your favorite videos been to shoot and why?
For me, in the very beginning, Fear Pong was my favorite, and then the punishments got pretty crazy. The cooking cube Iron Chef one was very fun for me, and then I also recently really, really liked shooting the soapbox one, even though I was sick that day. But that was awesome.
You were the real winner.
Oh
If
yeah,
anyone watched that video, Yvonne was the real winner.
oh yeah, that was fun.
That was my turn.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite video. Honestly, I have a favorite kind of series of videos. When we first started working with Jason, we went to Japan for the first time, and that was coming out of COVID. So that was really fun because we felt like we had the whole country to ourselves, but at the same time, we were restricted to our tour bus and our itinerary. But that was a super fun series of videos because I think everybody was just constantly bonding behind the scenes, and culturally we were able to experience so much. But yeah, I think I liked all of those. The drifting video out of that trip was a lot of fun to shoot. Jason was very good at drifting.
Yeah, Jason drifted?
I got to
Jason
drift, yeah.
What?
was
Sick.
arguably one of the only people who I would say drifted that day. Everyone
Oh.
else was kind of just trying. Yeah.
My favorite video, I've said it a couple times before on other things, but we did like a Valentine's Day video like 2 years ago in 2022. And I liked it because we kind of like did a thing where we never normally do, where we kind of split up into teams. And then by the end of the video, we kind of converse together and kind of like just pop off and have like a great story moment at the end. So I would say that video, if you guys haven't watched it, I think it's underrated. I think it's pretty cool. So check out the Valentine's Day video from 2022.
My favorite is not released yet. It is I don't know. What do you think, Henry? I
Leak it.
Wait, which
so
one is
we
it?
got to go to a superbike school with Michael and Ludwig,
Oh.
and it was pretty awesome. I got
yeah.
to kind of produce a lot of it. I would say most of it, which was kind of my first time doing it, which was fun. And also, motorcycles are cool, so that was fun for me. But we went for 2 days, and we're gonna release it soon. But that was my favorite for sure.
It's a first for us too, that type of video where it's just like 2 people are the stars.
Yeah, and only
like,
one OTV talent.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. If you guys like Michael Reeves, definitely check it out.
It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds. I'm really excited for that next video. Love Michael Reeves and Michael Reeves' girlfriend. So a lot of things happen behind the scenes. So what are some of the funniest or most unexpected things that's happened behind the scenes that your viewers might not know about?
Might not know about. I feel like we very willingly share all the embarrassing and troll things that happen. So I think usually we come together at our shoots where we get to bond, because like we sometimes are caught up doing our stuff. We don't get to see each other as often as we'd like, maybe, at least for me, because I don't live at the house anymore. But that's usually where we chat, have some tea, and then also just shoot the shit behind the scenes, like waiting for things to happen. Like for me personally, I like to bring a lot of baked goods recently and like give it to people. So like that's been fun. We just like hang out and talk. So I'm trying to think of like anything troll. No, not that I can think of. Like
What about you
off the
doing
top of my
deadlifts,
head.
Yvonne?
Huh?
Doing deadlifts between videos?
Oh, yeah, I did work out between a video once, yeah, because we were waiting a really long time for Jody to laser something, which is a small spoiler because it's not out yet, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
not
not
out
out. Yeah, so, but yeah, I got to gym for the first time there in a year. Like Sid taught me how to do squats and stuff. Yeah, I think I killed it. My back. So there you go.
You want to go first?
I got him. All right. Well, I think this is kind of cheating because if people watch the video to the end, they know it happened, but pretty unexpected when it did happen. And I might throw it to Jason here to tell the complete story, but when we went camping, bears showed up. Like 4 bears showed up at the end of the video, and it was legit terrifying. Like I was fearing for my life at one point. So, Jason, you spotted the bears first, so give us the rundown.
I remember we were wrapping up the shoot. They were about to stay in a tent for the rest of the night, and it's like 20 degrees, so vibes are medium. And
Medium low.
yeah, medium low for sure. And I just see like things moving, and I look, and I'm like, there's bears. And so I turn, and I go, guys, stay calm. But there's bears over there.
Yeah.
Everybody immediately turns and kind of freaks out a little bit. Luckily, our producer at the time, Noah, super outdoorsy guy, and he read off all the stats. He's like, bears don't attack groups of 5 or more, like we're gonna be fine. They're brown bears. They don't, we'll just yell at them. So we all did like a 1, 2, 3 and yelled, and they ran away. But we
It was very
did not.
cute.
Yeah, we didn't stay at the campsite, which was good. And honestly, it made the shoot like 10 times better because we all went back to the Airbnb, hung out, had a fun night.
Yeah.
It was great, and then left the next day.
King's Cup.
King's Cup was
King's
good, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Fun fact, another staff member named James. Should I say this?
Well,
Okay.
no, I was
Um,
well, maybe not.
Hey, he's not here.
Well, no, you said you said King's Cup already, so
yeah.
it's no secret that we also partake in some things, and James partook in something.
You make it
before
sound so
dinner.
sus. What are you saying? It was just drinking. Yeah, it was just drinking, guys. It wasn't anything. Partaking what?
And then we all went out to like a Thai, we had pho, and then James disappeared during dinner for like 45 minutes. And then someone else ended up going to the bathroom, and James was actually just sitting in the bathroom on the ground. So that was probably one embarrassing thing. And then I think something that's funny is a lot of times, like, we'll go on some trips. Small spoiler, like, we're about to go on a trip, and every time we go on an international trip, like, typically I think talent, they should fly direct because, I don't know, no one likes long trips to Japan, right? But what we did to save a little bit of money is, like, I think it took us 27 hours to get to Japan because we spent like 11 p.m. to like 8 a.m. in Hawaii on like a layover. And that was really cool. So we like landed, we rented a car, we went to the beach, we just like slept on the beach, went back to went on a sunrise hike, and then we went back to the car, chilled a little bit more, went back to the airport, and then head over to Japan. And then funny story is, a couple days ago, I was booking flights for this next place we're about to go to, and the cheapest option was a 43-hour trip where we would take 4 stops in Canada. San Francisco to Canada to a city in China to another city in China, and that would have been awful. So thankfully we got just one layover in San Francisco. But sometimes behind the scenes it's like we'll do stuff, and then there's a lot of energy to actually get there to the final product. But yeah.
Wow, you guys have so many things planned in behind the scenes. I feel like you're always kind of bustling and doing so many new concepts and videos. So with that said, do you have any like new ideas that you've always wanted to try, or anything that you're interested in, or maybe even like something you can tease to fans here at TGEX or anything for the upcoming videos?
Yvonnie needs a boyfriend.
What the hell? You'd say that now? No, guys, it's fine. I'm fine. What type of video? I really like, I have this thing lately where I would like to try working at places. Like, I want to work at like a cafe. I want to work at like a restaurant. I think it'd be really fun to like learn like all the how things, like, you know, an average day, and like I like learning new things, and so I think I'm in the talks of some things of making that happen. I think it'd be really funny if Offline TV tried to run like a restaurant for a day or something. But that's just like I think any trips are always like really exciting, and also learning a new skill of some sort, or like streamers try. I really like when we play sports and when we do like all this kind of stuff. I don't know what your guys' favorite is, but I always like when we all try something new, and then we just see who just naturally cracked at it for whatever reason. It's like, why are you randomly good at this thing? But yeah, it's always fun to like have that.
I would totally go to an OTV restaurant. I think all of us would probably go to an OTV
A cafe,
restaurant.
maybe? That'd be kind of sick, huh? Like a offline TV cafe.
Ooh.
That would be crazy.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Jason, you seemed really excited. You should go.
Well, so I have a lot of ideas I pitch, but are kind of like shot down sometimes due to
Wait, which one? Which
feasibility.
ones?
I want to do a video, and this is inspired by Michael. It's called OTV Tries the Deadliest Sports. Michael showed me a graph once of the deadliest sports by hours done. So it's like the most deaths per hour. Very him. And like some of them are like hang gliding, downhill mountain biking, skydiving. Like those all sound really fun. So I was thinking we use our wheel of death that we have. It's like a pinwheel thing. And they spin it, and then whatever it lands on, you go try to attempt it.
Why would you call it a wheel of death?
What?
Like, that's
Well,
not
that
very
was from a
incentivizing
previous
for us to
shoot,
go
Yvonne.
on.
Yeah, I think you'd love it, Yvonne.
That's you know, paragliding sounds fun. I don't think paragliding you can. I like that. I thought you were gonna say like free climbing. Have you seen free climbing on like Disney Plus? There's like a
Free
movie
solo?
on it.
Free solo?
It's really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
No, that's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
But that's my video idea that I'm pushing for. We'll
I
see
think
if
a
it
famous
goes.
climber just died.
Us
So,
to
I guess
die.
we'll-
No wonder
Thanks,
why
man.
they get shafted.
I got one, guys. And sorry, Henry, I'm gonna leak this. This is a video we've been working on. Well, not working on, but like we've pitched it and talked about it a ton, but we just haven't like really, pounced on it to like get it going. But there was an idea floating around where we were going to kind of make our own like art gallery. And I mean, I think the thesis is like, is this like random dude who made like a piece of art in this art gallery that, the art is just like a banana, it's like nailed to the wall and he calls it art? How is like, I don't know, I guess that's just like, people are, it's subjective, it's art. But I want to do a thing where we like got an art gallery put together and the art is all made by different OTV members. And then we got like actual like art critics to show up to the art gallery and see what their reactions are and see if they can like deduce it. Is this real art or not? Because if we can fool them, then like, what does it all mean, guys?
Wait, that's a great idea. I want to see like real, like people who normally critique art give us like a rating or like what they feel from the art,
Yeah, we should hire like a curator too.
Yes.
And they should all know like the history and the background of each piece, and like we'll go out really hard for that. Something I'm excited about. This is something that we may not actually ever end up getting to, but something that's also been thrown around a bunch is I really like to see what our creators will do when they're put in survival situations. So we had pitched you can see like a lot of times you ask talent, well, what do you guys want to do? Oh, we want to eat snacks. We want to have fun. And then you ask staff, it's like, oh, we want to like strap you to a fucking plane and then like
we
drop
want
you in
pain,
Argentina.
Wheel of death, pain, like.
It's good for content.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, there was an idea that actually Amanda came up with, and she was like, oh, what would happen if you put kind of like a bunch of gamers and YouTubers and made it like Survivor, but instead of competing for like physical tasks, you make them play video games with each other. So like 1v1 Tekken for fish. Or like Smash for rice, So it's just like
Okay, that'd be pretty funny. I wouldn't get to eat though.
yeah. But yeah, the idea is like, okay, now put like really buff people on the team too, and I don't know. Could be a cool mishmash.
Good idea.
Those are some really great ideas. I'm really hoping to see them. I really like to see how the production team really puts content creators first and their well-being, really prioritizing that. But I like to pivot our questions now to be more focused on career and content creation. So this is to Yvonne. So how did you get started in pursuing a career under content creation? And what is your favorite part about it right now?
I think for the longest time, I just streamed randomly because I was already playing League of Legends for like 10 plus hours a day. And so my friends were like, just stream it. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I went from like maybe 2 viewers to maybe like 10 at the time, and then went to like 20. But I stopped a lot. I like had a lot of breaks. Never really took it too seriously because I was still working. I used to work in human resources, so I'd find jobs like in between and stuff. And then I was also friends with Celine, like Star Smitten. And then she introduced me to Pokey because Pokey needed like an assistant at the time. And then so I was in the Bay Area. I was an assistant to her. And then she mentioned that OfflineTV needed a house manager. And then I remember I like had an interview. They're like asking me a couple questions. Soon after, I moved down to LA. And then back then, it was kind of like all hands on deck for sure. I was like probably me and like a couple other people running OfflineTV. And then, well, I was kind of newbie. I was kind of like guide me. I was sheep. And then I started getting pulled into more streams and content because I think back then it was just like the house, like very much like house centric. And so I would be in OfflineTV videos if we ever need like an extra person. I would be in streams naturally because back then we did a lot of house streams. And I think throughout the years, I also got severely addicted to League again and wanted to be a League streamer. And so at one point I was still being a house manager while streaming League and stuff at the same time. And then I think at some point there was like a point where, and this is also when I met Henry, but it was just like, I don't think I could do both of these things like well either way. So I needed to like pick one basically. And then that was around the time where I transferred over fully to talent. And then Henry took over as like kind of monitor all operations of things. So that was kind of how it all like turned out. And then now I'm just like a full-time creator.
Did you did you ever think um did you ever think about quitting at any point in that process?
Quitting like OTV?
No, quitting like content creation.
I did. I thought about like what if I had to like full send and just try to like only manage OTV, but the problem was I didn't have any experience in like business. I'm not like a super business minded person. I think I can be when it comes to some content, but damn, like if you ask me how to run a business, I don't know shit. Like I don't know where to start. I don't know how to talk to people. Yeah, I was very lost, and I definitely would have needed a mentor, and we didn't have one at the time. Like at the time, it was just me, Broden, and Broden is a video
free
g-
bird.
Yeah, he's a free bird, and he's also not like business guy. You know what I mean? Like I needed a mentor to be like to work from, and I didn't have that, so I didn't feel confident. I also really liked playing games and streaming and gaming like a lot more. So I think it was very clear like what eventually like what I want to do more.
What was like a harder part of starting as a creator? Kind of when you started, I guess, leaning more toward talent as opposed to working on stuff behind the scenes.
I actually don't think it was that hard. It was just more like I eventually just spent more time and everything thinking about like what I want to do for content than having to manage OTV when that transition was made. Like it just goes from, oh, I don't do scheduling anymore and I don't do like a lot of house manager stuff. I actually just stream and plan like, oh, who am I gonna play with today, or like what kind of video do I want to do, or like, so it just changed from not having like certain tasks anymore, and then those tasks just change into content stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
I still see comments online that think Yvonne is still like the house manager to this day.
Without even being at the house. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really fun getting to see like your transition from kind of working behind the scenes to what it is now, like full-time content creation. And really enjoy all your vlogs and everything behind with that too. Yeah. Don't we all? We love Yvonne. Yay.
Yeah.
But with that said, I wanted to ask Henry, Max, and Jason, how do you guys like working behind the scenes at OTV, and like what's your favorite part about it?
Yeah, what's your favorite part? You guys like working
What's
here,
your favorite
right?
part, Max?
Yeah.
My favorite part is that it's so easy because
Damn, it's
so easy because
What?
because
Because
it's a lot easier to work with people that you're like legitimate fans of. Like I legitimately love Michael's videos. I like Lily Peachy's music. I like, Toast DSG sports team. Everyone has like a thing that, I legitimately like about them. And it's just like we kind of feed off of each other's energy of like being inspired and then like creating together when we come together to make offline TV videos. So that's probably my favorite part. The fact that everyone's just like so talented or just funny, charismatic, and as like a video person, as like a director, producer, like it's so easy to just work with people who like understand how everything works, and we just do it and get it done together.
Yeah.
my favorite part's the what if. I think all of our videos start with like, what if we and then blank. I think recently, the most recent I can think of, when Yvonne was doing her deadlifts, Henry was walking on the treadmill. And I remember Henry was like, what if we made a video where like you just keep walking on the treadmill?
It was you
And
who thought of that?
Henry kind of birthed it, and then I was like, that's such a
Hey,
good
Jason
idea.
ran with it, all right?
And I was
Jason
like,
had
what
my
if we
baby.
drop them off in the desert, the salt flats, and they just walk in 4 different directions as far as they can? And like we developed this, like we went far, scaled it back to the house, ended up not pursuing it. But it's like, that's the kind of thing where like it starts with what if, and then the rest is like, we can probably pull it off. And I think that's the fun part, for sure.
Yeah. I think that's super fun. Maybe to give a slightly different perspective, I think like for me, it's really exciting to be at the forefront of what I think is new media and entertainment. So as kind of like consumption patterns change from TV and movie, you kind of see a lot of larger, I don't know, corporate establishments that have led that industry for a long time try and kind of adapt their models to change alongside how people are choosing to watch things now. And I think it's really cool from our perspective because we're kind of on that other side of what a lot of people are trying to be, but we don't have that many resources. We don't have decades of experience or senior executive kind of guidance. And in so some ways, it feels like we're finding our own path, and we're one of the only kind of groups in this position that have the opportunity to try and navigate the new landscape and shape it as well. So I think it's exciting to be a part of, just like that transition.
Yeah, no, it's like super exciting. Like when offline TV like first came out, it was like I felt you guys were like creating new content that has like never been it's been like seen before, but it was like ran so well, and it's like it's been so successful, and especially like through COVID, like it just kept growing, and you guys are doing amazing things. But so as you can see, we've got a pretty big, gamer community here at UCSD. We got them gamers. So do you have any advice for any students who want to either break into the gaming industry or like content creation, or like just like advice that you could give us?
Well, esports is looking a little fickle right now.
But
I don't know.
DSG.
Oh, other than DSG, yeah.
DSG if you want to work for free.
But yeah. I think it's nice if you have a skill set that you want to explore that can be transferable, not so only esports. Like if you work in something that's like social media, transferable. A lot of things, or production or filming and all that kind of stuff. I think it's very hard if it becomes, the more niche it is, the more hard it is, because I think it's still very volatile right now, actually. Not really sure how long certain things will be relevant. I thought like League of Legends or in a lot of esports, oh God, don't kill me, but like it was gonna be like, there for like a really, really long time. But over time, it's like some things starting to shake up a bit. Esports, like players are not getting paid as much as they used to. A lot of people got let go. It's also the economy that's like, not so great right now. But damn, you said advice, huh? This is kind of grim.
Lots of advice.
I think this is something that actually helps no matter what, is just being like a really nice person that a lot of people would like, and that a lot of people would like to work with. And I think that actually translates to anything that you do. Having like a good network of like friends and people and a good support system will almost always, like, I don't want to say all, but I feel like you will be okay in the end with something like that.
Yes, you will be okay.
Yeah. See, I'm not the business person. Business answer.
Business answer.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give the business answer. I think piggybacking off of Yvonne, like whenever an industry landscape is in a relative kind of like canyon or a little bit of a dip, as much as it can be scary going in, it also means the barrier to entry is a little lower than it would typically be if everyone was trying to jump into esports, or if it was fed with lots of money and they're constantly hiring. I think, generally speaking, it's still a relatively new space, entertainment, gaming, esports, and because of that, the hiring structures are not super developed, in the sense that if you wanted a job in finance, there's a track to get to finance, right? And so I feel like maybe that's part of the struggle of trying to figure out how you get your foot in the door into a scene like this, is because there really is no track on like as far as how you get your foot in the door. So when you're kind of finding yourself in those situations, it sounds really stupid, and I think I grew up in college really hating networking and really hating like trying to put myself out there, but it really is just an alignment of you as a person, kind of like what Yvonne's saying, like you as a competent, presenting yourself as kind of just someone who could be considered. Like you need to almost have that collision with someone in the industry in order to give yourself an opportunity. Like Amanda literally, I think, filled out some random Google Doc, and that's how she got her job.
I made that
like
Google Doc.
I technically got my job because I know Amanda. Like Max has been in the scene for like 10 years, so everybody wants him as soon as he's free. But like Jeason is the same way. Like we kind of got him straight out of college, where like originally we met him through LCS. And so it's like you kind of need to put yourself in the scene, so to say, or the scene adjacent if you're really serious and you don't necessarily have connections. And it's about kind of like making friends so that being in the scene isn't just like fully networking, but you also do need to put yourself out there professionally in the sense that you're constantly looking for that right collision of who you should talk to or potentially speak to. And I don't think anybody like thinks that, especially at your age, like nobody, if you walked up to them looking for an opportunity or a relationship where obviously you're looking for an opportunity, that's not going to rub anyone the wrong way. I think that happens maybe down the line when you're older. But I think right now, anybody who sees an eager person who wants to break into the space and you know the risks that you're taking, everyone in the space also respects the risks that even like we are currently undertaking by continuing to be in the industry. It's kind of like we're always eager, I think, to connect with people who want to be in. And I do think that there's a massive kind of quality of almost like, I'm going to call it the quality of labor is still really low in this space. Anywhere else, there's a massive expectation to be essentially like an expert by the time you are an intern. Whereas like here, I think it's a lot more free form. Like if you make me laugh in an interview and the vibe's right, like that's how people hire, as opposed to did you answer all these technical questions right? Did you prepare? Do you have behavioral, like things that we're looking out for? We don't really like care about that. And I think the same goes for esports orgs, the same goes for content orgs. Everybody's just looking for almost like the right fit. So yeah.
Culture fits.
I think that's a great answer, and it's kind of what happened to, at least in my career, where a lot of my opportunities literally came from just like me sending out a Hail Mary DM to like someone like, hey, I'm in town. If you guys need help with this thing, I can do this, this, and this. Here's my portfolio. Here's what I've done in the past. And, a lot of times I get 0 responses, but then I got one response from like TSM like 10 years ago. And they were like, yeah, sure, let's move you out to Santa Monica and, get you out of Texas and be our director of video production for, 7 years. So, life just happens like that. Life be that way sometimes. And you just got to, put yourself out there, like Henry said, and just, even if like a company doesn't like share or show that they're like hiring or have any like job listings on their website, even though you've looked everywhere on LinkedIn, on whatever else other website, it doesn't mean that they're not hiring. You never really know until you like send a DM to like, the relevant people at that company. So yeah, that'd be my advice. Just like don't be afraid to, cold DM people sometimes, but definitely have like some body of work going before you go in. Like have some experience, have something in your portfolio and your resume to kind of show that you're competent and know what you're doing. But after you're past that point, you're free to just kind of take on the world and just send cold DMs. That's my advice.
Yeah, I think what you guys are doing right now is huge. I came out of collegiate esports. I was working with UCLA a lot, doing basically what Justin's doing, just running around getting photos. And like that leads to a lot of opportunity. I think my first job, Cloud9, got it through UCLA esports. My second was because I was working at UCLA esports. And then I got OTV because of a UCLA sports thing that Amanda was at. So I think just being in this program is huge, and you'll get a lot of experience in like what you need to kind of like what Max said, come up to someone and be like, here's my body of work, and just be nice, like Yvonne was saying. But do esports, it's cool. Give it a try. Have fun.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
worry
it is
about the
great,
economy.
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe a little, but no, it is like, I think just about like picking something to like get really good at or like build up portfolio or whatever in that area, and then kind of have that be your like kind of way in. You're going to channel a lot of effort and skill into this one thing. And then when an opportunity comes, then you're prepared. And you have something that maybe people might pique their interest and be like, oh, and then you're cool too and nice. Damn, like I would want to work with you. Like that's, I think, I don't think people realize how much like vibing with someone or like being nice or having that type of aura is helps so much when it comes to actually landing a job.
Yeah, those are really good insights. I think a lot of us have been kind of going through the midst of applying for internships and jobs. And I know me personally, like all of that is pretty useful for me too. So thank you so much for your insights for all of us here. College is pretty tough, and like transitioning from college to like adulthood is definitely hard, but it looks like you guys were able to do a great job at it. So yay! So thank you guys for your insights again. We're gonna move on to opening up the floor to any questions that you guys have for offline TV. So anything regarding like content, any fun questions like, oh, what's your favorite boba order, or even anything career
Peach green tea.
focused. Feel free to come over here to the mic on the left side. We'll take about a couple of questions, maybe 5-ish. But yeah. Yay.
Also, Discord is legit. Like being a moderator in a Discord does get you the visibility to be in front of the content creator that you want to kind of be in front of. I would say as maybe like cringe is like the sticker of that process seems. I think it's a very effective way of getting a foot in the door, if that makes sense. Like I know even on DSG, right? Like they're very short staffed. They try their best to compensate everybody and give people opportunities, but at the same time, they're also very much branding themselves as like the underdog org that has little to no resources. Behind the scenes, that may be very different. But that organization is a good example of like, yeah, they're not going to have an HR guy who's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go hire like this person for this role. It's more like, oh yeah, isn't Elvia like a mod? Like maybe Elvia is in LA and she could help us at an event. And then that's how it all starts. Like some girl, is like in the Discord and then they show up to an event in LA and we realize, wow, Elvia is so good as an operator or graphic designer or whatever. And you can kind of show your strengths in that sense. But
And Bree also works at Offline TV now too. She's, starting, working with us as well. So, and that all started through, our Patreon, our Discord. So
yeah.
Yeah. You never really know how life works out.
Being a mod is cool.
And now suddenly, that suddenly looks attractive to like if she ever wanted to like, continue down this path, she could grow into something else, or, it suddenly looks great on her resume if she like applies to like OTK or Mr. Beast or something like, wow, you work with OTV, suddenly, there you go. It's another thing on your resume. So yeah.
So if you join our Patreon, you might get a job at OTV.
$5 a month.
You just gotta keep swimming in the space that you want to be in. I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, no, staying in the Discord is very helpful. I became a Lily Pichu Discord moderator because I drew her fan art every day for like a whole like month. And I was really active in her Discord. And then I just kept showing up to events and I was just a small like child. And now Lily Pichu went to TGEX last year, so very exciting. And then I worked with like Daniel in the fast. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to line up. You will not lose your space, your spot in the meet and greet. Just go back to your seat. So feel free to ask questions if you have any.
However, for now, while people cook up with their questions, what are your guys' favorite boba orders?
I like a grapefruit green tea. I'm a fruit tea, but I used to drink a lot of milk tea, but then there's a lot of sugar and everything in that too. So trying to like, watch everything that you eat nowadays.
I like green tea. I like fruit teas. I don't really drink that much milk tea anymore. It's some boba places where they have like the golden boba or whatever. If I feel like I can't finish my boba, I like the freedom of putting that boba in the refrigerator and it not tasting like shit the next day. So sometimes I'll opt for like golden boba or whatever they call it. But I'm also low sugar, low ice.
Yeah,
Ice is just pointless. Like it is.
I like the
you're
ice.
just- but you're.
But
But it
it's
just melts
lukewarm.
and becomes water.
I like it cold.
Okay.
Cold.
Taro. I have no idea what taro is, but it tastes so good. It's so it's like a plant, right? Where it's like a.
Look at me.
What is taro? Someone look it up. Tell me.
It's like
It's
a.
like a yam.
Oh, it's a root.
Yeah, it's a root.
Okay. It's a root. I like roots. Jason?
I'm a coffee drinker.
Hell yeah.
So when they
Yes.
order boba, I just say, get me whatever. And usually it's pretty good.
Mhm.
I like the chewbies.
All right. What do we got?
Turn it on.
That guy.
Turn it on, like the switch.
Hello. So I'm like supposed to be moderating the questions, but I'm gonna take the opportunity to ask the first one. So this might apply like towards like mainly Jason, but for either of you guys that could answer this, coming as someone that like worked in the collegiate esports and general gaming field, like let's say if you happen to like major in something completely different and unrelated, like damn, I want to do like content creation or like streaming, and I'm taking a goddamn history degree. So like, how did you guys sort of like make that pivot, or how would you recommend someone like make that pivot to that field?
Jason, what'd you study?
I studied business, not using business. So I don't think it doesn't really relate. And like Yvonne was saying, like it's good to have like a little fallback. It's kind of nice. I know a bunch of people at UCLA who are working at Riot now, have been working there for like 5 years, and they studied, it was like map making or something. So like your degree, I mean, what you do in here like rarely relates to your degree. And you're like, you don't need to go to film school, you know, you don't need to do that. Enjoy your degree here and like do esports on the side. And, you know, maybe you want to do esports full time. That's cool.
Yeah. I think the major matters way more in other professions. When we were looking at Jason, he was a business major. I was like, oh damn, maybe this guy could help me with sales or
Absolutely
partnerships
not.
or marketing. No. And he's honestly a much better like camera person director than a lot of people who, in my opinion, even went to film school. So I think it's like take your kind of passion toward esports or gaming or whatever. Don't let your whatever you've spent your time doing so far make you feel like you have less of an opportunity pursuing what you want to do or what you could.
Yeah, I
be
used to
happy
work
doing.
in HR, and like I think the baseline is just we look for people who do you have a bachelor's degree, like do you have the ability to learn, but like what you majored in was not like the biggest thing, unless you're a doctor or something. Like then you know I think I would like to see that you went to medical school, but like if you're like other things is just so. I just feel like almost bachelors nowadays are kind of like a lot of people have them, and no, it doesn't really matter like so much what you got it in depending on the job, which is most jobs nowadays.
Yeah. And if you are doing something that could be applied, like I majored in business as well and physics. Physics not so much, but yeah, like if you're somebody who's studying marketing or finance or even if you're like a software engineer, the space needs a lot of operators, needs a lot of system builders, needs a lot of accountants even. Like it's not just yeah, so if there's anything that you feel is relevant, chances are the only thing that the content creator industry isn't lacking is content creators. I think everywhere else infrastructurally is probably lacking, so there's a way to get in.
And if you like history, you can work in the lore department at Riot.
Oh hell yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys. Now we'll be moving it to the actual audience members.
Yeah. Okay, so let me move this a little bit.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Zach. And I
Zach?
was kind of wondering that, like, with a lot of money being put into like streaming and stuff like that and camera gear, I mean, you guys have a lot of people on staff right now, of course. I feel like there's a lot of time and effort put into videos to be like really high budget, high production value, all that stuff like that. So I was just kind of wondering what you guys feel on like that balance between having something that's like super high production budget versus having something that's kind of scuffed and kind of funny, you know, and on the fly.
Jason and Yvonne, I think.
Yeah.
You guys should do it.
I mean, we've been having this discussion kind of a lot, I think, which is like we've been doing like really big, cool shoots. And like even now, like we're, you know, going to another country to film something, which is sick. But I think, and we have really nice cameras to do it all, right? But yeah, you don't need that, obviously. Like I think cool videos have been made on very simple cameras, you know? And it's all about concept and the personality behind it. Like Yvonne. What do you think, Yvonne?
It really depends on like what you're going for. I think like if you're going for like a highly produced video, you want like a high produced cooking video, for example. Like you're gonna need certain equipment for that. But there are so many levels of things that you really don't need that for. Like sometimes a phone is so easy to make any type of long or short form content, and that is quite good enough. A lot of something I noticed is like audio quality almost bigger than video quality. Like it's a lot harder to sit through a video that has shitty audio quality than it is to watch like maybe like 180p instead of like a 4K video or something. Or it'd be even fine if it was like 720p. So I just think the biggest barrier sometimes isn't even production. Sometimes it is, but I think it's just doing it. The hardest part for a lot of at least as a creator is like actually getting off our butts and like doing it. It's the same thing as people like starting a business. They have this idea, and every entrepreneur that I've ever talked to is like, just do it. You just have to like start. So I don't know if that answered the question exactly, but like production wise, it's honestly quite flexible, I think. And there are a lot of tools that I think, especially technology nowadays, that made it so you can have a cheaper thing and it would still come out great. I actually learned recently, my friend was telling me he was like editing on, there's a new thing for Premiere Pro or some editing program, popular editing program, where he has like a really mid mic or mic, but you just pick this one like AI generated thing and it fixes the audio quality a lot. So like a lot of things can be improved through programs and stuff too, not just equipment.
Yeah. And knowing like Max even recently, like I remember Toast saying in a group chat or something that like you could just use the Samsung Galaxy S24 or something instead of a.
We spent like thousands of dollars building like the perfect IRL streaming backpack for when we go to other countries to like, stream IRL. But now, like literally in the past like year, it's now possible to just stream off your phone in like very high quality. It was always possible, but now it's like, very stable. The battery won't like overheat and die. And so, the Samsung phone, it's still pretty expensive, but, it's a smaller footprint and it's possible. Like, people just own phones that, you can make some cool stuff on. Yeah. And you definitely don't want to fall into the trap of like, well, I need this because this person uses this to make their videos, so I need it too. Like Yvonne said, just start and then, the rest will come.
Yeah. I think like our loose philosophy is to be more led by the content or the concept as opposed to wanting to make a certain thing because we have so many cameras or because we have so many people. Think of what's cool first and then what do you need to do it. And obviously when you start off, there's some stuff you won't be able to do. But
sometimes low quality things has a certain charm to it. I used to
true.
vlog on my camera all the time. That was its own like thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck, Zach.
Thanks. My name is Patrick. I'm finishing pharmacy school. This is my last year.
Nice job,
Actually,
Patrick.
I actually graduated, but I'm still finishing up my last rotation. I just have a fun question for you. Who's your favorite Valorant character and why?
Gecko, because he's Mexican like me. That's it.
Good choice.
Thanks.
Yeah, mine's probably Viper or Reyna. Yeah, I like playing Reyna the most. I think Viper's freaking sick though. So
You can go first, Jason.
I play Raze. It's my one and only. That's all I know how to play. So it's Raze.
I think my favorite character, but also the character I'm probably the worst at, is Jet. Jet is what I would like to be, but cannot. I'm more like a Sage or a Cypher. I kind of just sit in the back and get the easy kills when I have advantages. Whereas with Jet, I think you just have to be so good. But yeah.
I totally get that. Jet, it's the aim, and then yeah, I get it.
Patrick, who's your favorite?
It's probably Gecko. Like,
Oh, why?
Max.
I like his style, and also I like the song that he came out with the. I just like the whole vibe of it. It's like a very upbeat and very like chill. So I like that a lot.
Cool.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you.
By
Congrats.
the way, speaking of Gecko and Raze, we would like to plug that we do have Valorant voice actors coming tomorrow for day 2, so make sure you come to their panel as well.
Nice, nice.
Okay, back to the questions.
Hi, I'm Min. I just have a question. Actually, it's a twofer, one less serious than the other. The first one is was there a content creation or streaming meta or a kind of era that you really like to watch, or maybe even Yvonne take part of? Say like the chess era, maybe the Among Us era. Was there anything that really sticks out in your mind as kind of peak content creation? And the second is, how tall is Ludwig in person?
5'10".
He lies.
6'5". My favorite, I think I would like now the most back then was like when people still do it, but there's a period of time where like it was all IRL backpacks, all IRL streaming. I would not say that probably Among Us or what was the other one?
Chess.
Chess, yes. No chess for me. But like Among Us, like I like playing deception games, but more in person, like online or something else. Like lying gives me a bit of anxiety like that. Like I always feel like, can I lie my way out of this? I don't know. It's more pressure on me. I liked Minecraft. If it was something different, like other than Riot Games, like Minecraft or some party games or what's it called? Yeah, IRL. I think I would if it were back then, maybe I would stream more IRL. Yeah.
I'm curious what your favorite meta was, Max.
I by default like IRL, but if it's not IRL, I liked watching the Minecraft stuff over the pandemic, especially. I just have like a vivid scene. Like I was reminded of when everyone was just like chilling on the OTV Minecraft server, just like having a good wholesome time, and then Michael's off in the fucking corner, just making like encoding like a robot that's like mining like thousands of blocks for him, and it's just breaking the game. I think that was my favorite part. Yeah.
I really liked a period in time when Shroud played PUBG with
Oh,
Doc
yeah.
all the time and Summit. I think that was a really fun time for me to be a gamer. I also think it's funny how since I've come to work behind the scenes, I've had like numerous people who I think made a big name for themselves playing like Among Us, but then telling me that they dreaded every day of their life because they were like, I have to play Among Us though. So I think that's also a funny thing to keep in mind sometimes is like as a content creator, you always have to put on, a smile and constantly you're pressured to entertain, do something funny, say something funny. But yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, I guess.
I just think being pigeonholed sucks into anything. Even if I was pigeonholed into League and you told me I had to stream League every day, I love League, but like just not if it were like you have to do this. I want if you have the freedom to like do what if I feel like playing TFT? What if I feel like baking? What if I feel like doing it's like really sucks when you feel like I can't because my viewers only watch this. So yeah.
True.
My favorite was the esports doc era.
Oh yeah.
That's what got me into esports, so I loved it.
Mm.
Loved it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you. Hello, I'm Sunny.
Hi, Sunny.
Hello. I have kind of two questions, I guess. All right. The first one you might have heard before. Would you rather have unlimited bacon, but no games, or
Wait, but no what?
but no games,
Ah.
or unlimited
maple syrup.
games, but no games?
Wait, what? I don't think he said you probably heard this before. Where?
I've never heard that before.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that. Sorry. Okay, my actual question was, earlier you mentioned like how bloated the content creation space is, and I was wondering if I guess any of you can kind of answer if you have like any insight. But for someone who, for if anyone wanted to start doing content creation now, considering how bloated it is, like how should they differentiate themselves from like everyone else who's trying to be a content creator? Like, I don't know if maybe there's a specific aspect that like they should work on. If you have any ideas, like, feel free to share. Like, yeah.
Come on, professional content creator.
Yeah. I like to say, because the algorithm right now for a lot of platforms are pushing short form content, I think the move is to do short form content. It's also very easy for people to digest. So I always like to tell people to start off with TikToks or shorts, because it's also very easy to post them cross platform and grow your followers on multiple platforms. I don't think it's good to pigeonhole yourself necessarily to one platform if you can. Like for example, if TikTok gets banned and stuff like that. I also think that because content creation is so saturated, it's kind of like the thing with content, you either have to be really cracked or really good in developing your skill in one area, or right now what's also trending is relatability. Like a lot of things that people find funny on TikTok or all those things, like a lot of things that people kind of don't like as much nowadays are like these I mean, some of them are still very good, But almost people like the more relatable stuff, talking to the camera, just sharing like daily life things. A lot of vlogs that people are doing. But I think, yeah, something with higher discoverability is great when you're doing that. And then also more about quality over quantity, because, yeah, I think like because there's a saturation of content creators, you just kind of have to like up your quality a bit, or else people are just gonna swipe. There's like on to the next clip so easily. So yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but from my perspective, I spent a lot of time thinking about how to like, you know, what if I could poop out content creators like K-pop, poop out, you know, performers and entertainers. For me, I think like the answer lies within how you are developing yourself, to be honest. Like, in my opinion, I think there are a lot of content creators that can carve out a niche and like strategically, sure, like you could probably build out kind of a corner of the internet for yourself if you're really good at that. But if you're more like, oh, what do I do? You know, how do I get into this? I think like as long as you spend every day becoming perhaps like a more entertaining version of yourself or a more individualistic version of yourself. Like I was talking to Yvonne about this in the car, but it's like look at someone like Kevin Hart. Like it doesn't matter what platform he's on, he could probably pop off. He could pop off on TikTok, he could pop off on YouTube, he could be a streamer if he wanted to, he could be a movie star, a comedian, whatever. And I think it's because he spent so much time working on like his core skill of just being like a funny dude, right? So I think like at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a war of attrition with yourself. Like mentally, it may take forever. But if you are kind of right place, right time, and you have developed to a point where you can kind of hold the spotlight when given the opportunity, then I think like that's kind of maybe how you set yourself up a little bit. But yeah, I think the reason why a lot of people say like, oh, you want to be a YouTuber, you got to make 100 videos. And it's like, yeah, because you probably suck in front of the camera, right? For like 100 videos, you probably
You
suck
need a
at
lot of
editing.
practice.
Yeah.
Failing before you like get in the groove of it.
Exactly.
Be comfortable in front of the camera, or maybe you're not in front of the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just a lot of trial and error, and like how to make like you go to improve your videos from like to like, oh, it's pretty good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be a bad content creator before you can be a good one. And that's like that's a process.
Mhm.
So don't get discouraged if you don't see results very quickly.
Cool. Maybe one last thing before I leave. My friends asked me to, you don't have to answer this. They asked me to try to get Jason's LinkedIn.
Are you the one that keeps requesting on LinkedIn?
No. No, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be. I would
Couldn't
never.
be you.
No.
Damn, they
Okay,
found
thank you so much. Thank you.
We will accept anyone.
Send a personalized note so I know it's you.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bye,
I'm
Jay.
It's nice to meet you, dude.
Goodbye, Sunny.
This is gonna be the last question, and then we're gonna move on to the meet and greet afterwards.
Damn, one, but there's
Hi,
one.
I kind of. Oh, yeah. I'm good. Kind of have like two questions. One would be like for Max. I'm pretty sure you're the one like walking by yourself in the haunted house, right? And like
Yes.
Michael kept on seeing you. Did you experience anything scary there?
Yes.
You
Oh
did?
my God, I can tell my story. I can tell my story. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh, do you have your other
Oh,
question?
but for my second question too, I'll just let it say it. How was it? I don't know if you guys were born in LA, but I was wondering how was it moving for like this type of career, and like if you guys want to move away, is it hard because all your networking is here? That's it.
Start with your spooky story, Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start. So background, the video's out. So we played hide and seek at the legendary Winchester House in San Jose. The video came out like a month ago now, but it's a really fun watch. You guys should watch it if you haven't already. But I do not believe in ghosts. That's a statement that I'm making right now. It's fact. I don't believe in ghosts, but I experienced something in the house while I was alone filming that if I told the story to other people, they would consider it to be, and this has already happened, they would consider it to be paranormal. So what was happening was before we started shooting the video, we were doing a tour with the employees of the Winchester House. They were like showing us every room, like here's where, she died, here's where she, would do her seances, stuff like that. And as we were making our way out of like the third floor attic to like an outdoor area, I didn't say anything, but I started hearing what I believe to be like footsteps just following me. They were just following the group. And I was like the caboose of the group. It was like a 10-person group, and I was the caboose. I was the last person. I didn't say anything. And then my coworker, James, who's right in front of me, says, Max, I think someone's following me. Like, I hear footsteps. And I'm like, oh, God, he hears them too. We move on down the hallway. We keep walking. The footsteps are still behind us. At this point, we are on like different sorts of like pavement. Like we're on pavement now. We were on like wood before. And we're still hearing the footsteps. And then we are walking down a long hallway, going into an area called the Witch's Cap, where Sarah Winchester would like do seances, I believe. We're walking down that way. The group in front of me is turning into the room, and James has told me that he's spooked, so he's gonna like go on ahead with the group. So I'm alone in the back, and then swear to God, not lying, not memeing, I hear the words, a whisper behind me that says, "Come here." It was like, "Come here," and I was like, "All right, I'm power walking now. I'm going with the group now. Get me out of here." And that's my story. I heard footsteps, and then I heard someone say, "Come here." I think, looking back on it now, could have been the wind. Could have been, just the house is really old. So I don't know. I think could have been house noises too. But the kicker was that like after the shoot happened, I kind of told the story. And then Sydney revealed that she was also, and you can see in the video too, she was also hearing stuff like whispers in a certain part of the house. And it was in a very close approximation to where I was in the house when I was hearing stuff. And so, I don't know. That's what happened. That's my story. I don't believe in ghosts still, but it's just what happened. All right, the next question. I totally forgot what it was.
Basically, how was it
Moving.
moving for your career, and how like is it scary because you maybe want to move out, like move somewhere else, but you can't because like all your networking is here and yeah.
Yeah, I am from Canada. So I moved here for work, for streaming and stuff, because everyone, especially back then when like it's like LCS, everything was in LA. All the content creators try to go to LA. Even now, I feel like if I were to move, it would be difficult because all of offline TV is also in LA. So like if I thought about like maybe what if I wanted to go to New York for like even 6 months or a year, it would be very hard for me to be in any OTV shoots. Or do podcasts or do anything like on a consistent basis. So it does feel like you can't really move depending on what situation you're in. I think there's a lot of streamers that are in Texas or in other places, tax purposes, Vegas, anything like, and they're totally fine with that. But I am a social creature and I love being around friends and people that I know here. So I think it'd be very hard for me to do that, not feeling like I can't, but I just think like everything I like is here. And also I do like living in LA and stuff, so yeah.
What about like when you first had to move down?
When I first had to move down, I thought it was fucking awesome. And I was from Calgary, Alberta, and like it's pretty boring there. The closest thing we have is Banff, beautiful national park, but I've been going ever since anytime relatives would come, I would go there. So yeah, I think I just was very starry-eyed, full of like excitement and energy being in the place where I had watched a lot of like League of Legends growing up. I got to go to LCS is right there. I can go whenever I want. I got to see like and start meeting and being friends with all the people that either I would see on streams or would be on teams and stuff. Like that was really cool to me. So yeah, it was a really exciting thing in the beginning. I was like just stoked.
I moved from Texas. It was really scary. But my situation was a bit weird because I was being moved into like the TSM house that no longer exists. So I was like living there rent free. I didn't really have to worry about like all those logistics about like, getting an apartment, scoping it out, that type of thing. So in a way it was a little easier for me, but it was also pretty darn scary because you never really know. Like my parents were like, you might be getting scammed, dude, because like if this goes under, like what are you doing? So yeah, it was a little spooky. I would say that like, now, though, working remotely in this industry is like not that unheard of. For example, like our lead editor, Dunois, I've seen him like once a year since I've worked here for 2 years. And he's our rock star editor. You know, he's super important to the org, and so he's basically working remote. He lives in LA, but he basically works remote. I like hardly ever see the guy. So I think it's totally possible, depending on exactly what the job is. Yeah, that's my perspective.
I mean, for DSG even, like when I was meeting everybody, there's a few people who like don't live in California and are like team managers and stuff. So it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah,
Bree lives here, and we're all in LA.
that's true.
Thank you, then.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you guys for your audience questions. It was fun getting to know Offline TV. I'm so sad to like cut off the time here, but don't you worry. We have a meet and greet coming up soon. But for now, can we get another round of applause for our amazing panel?